Two women on the same street started the same year with the same sentence in their heads. Both were 52 years old. Both brought home $2,200 a month. Both were raising 2 children alone in the same neighborhood, paying the same rent. Neither one is smarter than the other in this story, and neither one got lucky. The only thing different between them was one rule. And 12 months later, the gap between them was big enough to buy something one of them had never had. Before we start, where the picture comes from, the income and spending shape of American households comes out of the Consumer Expenditure Survey, run by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which goes household by household asking families what they actually spend on. The numbers in these two lives sit inside the range that survey describes for 2025. None of this is a fairy tale. The first one followed the rule almost everybody follows, and she followed it for a good reason. Her rule was, pay everything first, then save whatever is left. Rent, power, water, groceries, the pharmacy, school supplies. Whatever remained at the end of the month was hers, and she was not being careless. She did it that way because she would not take food off her children's table before she knew the month would close. That is not stupidity. That is care. Worth holding on to that sentence, because it is the reason her rule existed at all. The second one followed a different rule, and only that. On the day the money landed, she moved $50 out of the account before paying anything. $50 a week, $200 a month. After that, she paid everything exactly like the first one, and she got by on what was left. Notice that nobody here is earning more. Nobody picked up a second job. Nobody got lucky. The math is the same, the paycheck is the same. What changes is the order. By the first month, the first woman looked at her statement on the 30th and $30 had survived. She put the 30 away, and she felt good about it, because 30 is more than nothing. The second one had 200 sitting in a jar. The gap between them at the close of the first month was $170. Small. So small that the first one, if she had known, would have decided it was not worth changing anything. By the third month, it started to show. The first woman had gone 2 months with nothing left over, because in one of them, a child needed medicine, and in the other, the refrigerator quit. She still had the same $30 from the first month. The second one had $600. The gap was already $570, and the year was barely started. By the 6th month, the first woman had added 80 more from 2 small leftovers and reached 110. The second one had $1,200. The distance between them crossed $1,000 for the first time, half a year, same pay, same street. By the 9th month came the part that hurts. The 3 middle months of the year left nothing at all for the first woman. Not $1 because it was school supplies, then uniforms, then a repair. She was still sitting at 110. The second one had $1,800. The distance was now $1,690, and she had not even felt it because her money left the account before she ever saw it. By the 12th month, they closed the year. The first woman had $190 put away after 12 full months of trying to save what was left. The second one had $2,400. Neither of them earned a single dollar more than the other all year. Now, the total, in things instead of numbers. $2,400 in that neighborhood in that year was a used washer and dryer with money to spare. It was the enrollment and the first 4 months of a certificate program. It was 3 months of rent paid ahead, which is the whole distance between a woman who has to ask for a favor and a woman who does not. $190 is one good grocery run. Good, but one. And here is the belief this story breaks, which is the reason it exists at all. Almost everybody believes that saving money is a question of having money left over. That first you handle life, and then With whatever remains, you take care of yourself. It sounds like the most responsible thing in the world, except that what is left over never is. Never. Because the month was built to consume exactly what comes in, and it will always find a way to fill whatever space exists. The first woman did not fail at discipline. She followed a rule that came defeated from the factory. And it is not that the second one had more willpower. She had less. She moved the money out precisely because she knew that if it stayed there, she would spend it. Her rule did not depend on her being strong at the end of the month, when a person is worn out and a child needs something. Her rule acted on the day she was still rested and the money had just landed. Look at the real difference between them. One of them decided 12 times a year, once a month, always at the worst possible moment. The other decided one single time, at the start, and after that never had to decide again. There is something that has to be said honestly, or this turns into pretty talk. For the second woman, the month was tight. She went the year with $200 less in her hand every month, and that is felt. There were things she did not buy. There were months that ran thin all the way to the 30th. Nobody here is saying it was easy, and anyone who says it was is lying. Her choice was not between tight and not tight. It was between tight for 12 months and tight forever. If you recognized yourself in the first woman, it is because most of the women watching this channel are the first woman. So would I be. Her rule is the rule our mothers taught us, and it was taught with love. Now, if you want to run this same math on your own life, there is a free kit we put together with the Move It First worksheet and the 52-week challenge. The link sits in the description. It costs nothing and it asks for nothing but your first name, said once, and I will not push it again. Tell me down below which of the two you are today, the first or the second. No shame here, nobody judges anybody, and I was the first one myself for years. And if you want to see what that second woman did with her 2,400, subscribe and turn the bell on, because her story goes up Saturday. See you there.